welcome to OneLife LA! Woo! Wow, what an honor. This is the first of its kind. My name is Sylvia Aimerito. I worked many years in the media here in Los Angeles, recently co-founded with my sister Lori Ray Martin, AudioGirl Ministries. Many of our team members are here today. We'll tell you more about that later. I am just thrilled to be your MC for this event. Thank you for coming out today. Yes, yeah. Today we stand together because we believe in the dignity and the equality of every human life. We are one life. We are diverse. Look around you. Look how diverse we are. But we've come together to express our common concern. And together, that's how we do it. Together, we make a common commitment to make a difference for every life, and especially for those that are most vulnerable. Vive! Live life to the fullest. That's what it's all about. That's our invitation to everyone. And I am so pleased to be joined on stage right now with recording artists Miriam Solis and Paulina Cerrilla. They're here to sing for you right now. Vive! Live!
Is a canvas that we fill with color. It's our choice if rainbow hues or gray. Create a masterpiece while you can, because tomorrow isn't planned. So make the most of life today.
Siente correr la sangre por tus venas. Siembra tu tierra y ponte a trabajar. Deja correr libre tu pensamiento. Deja el rencor para otro tiempo y echa tu barca a navegar. Abre tus brazos fuertes a la vida. No dejes nada a la deriva. Del cielo nada te caerá.
Happiness is sitting right before you. Hold on tight, you'll make it through. Anything's possible with love.
Y cuando llegue al fin tu despedida, seguro es que feliz sonreirás por haber conseguido lo que amabas, por encontrar lo que buscabas, porque viviste hasta el final. Abre tus brazos fuertes a la vida, no dejes nada a la deriva. Del cielo nada te caerá.
Happiness is sitting right before you. Hold on tight, you'll make it through. Anything's possible with love.
Trata de ser feliz con lo que tienes. Vive la vida intensamente. Luchando lo conseguirás.
Anything's
Thank you. Miriam and Paulina. Miriam, by the way, a winner at Mexico's National Song Festival 2 years in a row. That's understandable. And she's performed internationally since she was 12. Girl. And Paulina, singer, songwriter, actress, and a finalist on The Voice. Yeah, that girl can sing. And we are really honored and pleased that they were here to launch our program today. You know, as I said, we're here today to celebrate human life in all its beauty, all its diversity, all its glory. We have one life. We are one life. God gives us this beautiful life, not just to the individual. It's true, we each have our own, but He gives each of us to the world. Every life has a purpose. You have a purpose. I have a purpose. Bishop Gomez has a purpose. Every life has dignity, and each person must be treated with that care and honor and dignity that they deserve, given to them by our Father in heaven. You know, God does not make distinctions. No, He does not. We are the ones. We need to learn to see people as God sees them. Not that some lives are more worthy than others and some are just not that important. No, 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 no. God created each and every one of us as beautiful and sacred and filled with possibility, made in His image. He chose to create you, me, each of us, His masterpiece of creation. We are the icing on the cake, people. Yeah, we are. Remember, we have to remember how much He loves us. And we're also called to respect all life without distinction, recognizing the dignity of every single person from the moment of conception. Yes, from the moment of conception. Yes, from the moment of conception until the moment of natural death. Yes, the moment of natural death. The fight is on, but we can win this. We are called to put this into practice every day, to be somebody to somebody, to honor the dignity of every person that we encounter, whether it's here, whether it's at Stater Brothers, whether it's driving in your car, wherever that person is, we need to see Jesus in them, just as Mother Teresa did. We need to build a culture of life right here in Los Angeles. When we do that, when we start in our own backyard, like Mother Teresa said, it builds to the next, and then we go nationwide, and then we go worldwide. We build a culture of life. We are one life. Now, you and I, we wouldn't be here today to celebrate this great event if it wasn't for our first speaker who came up with this idea. He said, Kathleen Domingo, and the Culture of Life director here at the Archdiocese, I've got an idea. Well, she took the ball and ran with it. But he came up with the idea. OneLife is a beautiful expression of His love for all of the people of the Archdiocese of Los Angeles. In His ministry, check this out, as Archbishop of Los Angeles, by the way, did you know, we are the nation's largest Catholic community. We are right here. We are. That blew my mind. I didn't know that, but I'm going to use that. That's powerful. Archbishop José Gomez encourages people to follow Jesus with joy and simplicity of life, seeking to serve God and our neighbors in our daily lives. For more than a decade, Archbishop Gomez has been a voice of compassion and a voice of reason on moral and spiritual issues in America, public life, and also in our culture. His books include Immigration and the Next America, and also A Will to Live, Clear Answers on End-of-Life Issues. OneLife LA is part of Archbishop Gomez's vision of promoting a culture of life in Los Angeles and throughout the Americas. So welcome, a warm welcome for our own Archbishop José Gomez.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you all. Good afternoon to everyone. Are you having fun? Wonderful. Buenas tardes a todos. ¿Se la están pasando bien? All right, we got a beautiful day. So before I welcome all of you officially to the first OneLife LA event, I want to take a selfie with all of you. Is that all right? All right, let's do it. All right. Thank you for helping me to have you all in my Facebook page. What a beautiful day the Lord has made for us. Sunny blue skies and warm weather for us to come together for the cause of life. This is a special day for me. I'm happy that you all could join us for the first annual OneLife LA celebration. Me da mucha alegría que podamos juntarnos por primera vez en este OneLife LA que tendremos, Dios mediante, cada año. Today we are joining the United States bishops and Catholics across the country in the observation of 9 days for life to pray for the defense of innocent human life. This celebration today begins our observance, and we will conclude with a solemn mass that I will celebrate this coming Saturday at the Cathedral of Our Lady of the Angels, our annual Requiem for the Unborn. So I hope that you all join us next week too. I want to welcome all of you who are watching around the world on EWTN and listening around the country on Immaculate Heart Radio. También quiero dar la bienvenida a todos los que nos escuchan a través de los medios de radio y televisión, especialmente EWTN, pero también los que nos escuchan a través de El Sembrador Este y Guadalupe Radio. Greetings to all you all from Grand Park, downtown, in the City of the Angels. I also want to thank our sponsors for today's event, Carl Anderson and the Knights of Columbus. Thank you to the Right to Life League of Southern California, along with the Dan Murphy Foundation and the Doheny Foundation, and especially our brothers and sisters in the Catholic Diocese of Orange, Fresno, Monterey, San Diego, and San Bernardino. Thank you to you all. I also want to thank all the people who have worked so hard to make this event possible, especially my brother, Auxiliary Bishop Alexander Salazar, who is the head of our Life, Justice, and Peace Office, and also Kathleen Domingo, our pro-life coordinator. Thank you especially to them. Let's give them a big applause. My friends, this morning, we are celebrating one of the most beautiful truths in the universe. La verdad de que cada vida humana es sagrada y preciosa, creada por Dios, nuestro Señor. Jesus taught us that for God, every human life is beautiful, and every human life has a reason. He taught us that God's love embraces every life, and especially those lives that are vulnerable and weak, those who cannot take care of themselves. In God's eyes, no one is a stranger, and there are no lives that are not worth living, no lives that we can leave behind or throw away. That's the beautiful truth that we are here to celebrate today. That's what OneLife LA is all about. It is a powerful message, isn't it? I mean, what if we really believe that every life is precious and has a purpose in God's loving plan? That would change the world, wouldn't it? But that's the whole point, my dear friends. That's why Jesus told us this truth, because he wants us to change our hearts. Jesús quiere que cambiemos, que nos convertamos de corazón, and that he wants us to go out and change the world. Dios nuestro Señor quiere que salgamos como discípulos misioneros a cambiar el mundo. So, my friends, we are being called to build a culture of life, a culture that loves life and defends life, a culture where every human life is welcome and wanted and cared for. Every life, at every stage and in every condition. From the moment life is conceived in the womb until the moment life reaches its natural end in death. Pope Francis, by the way, let us especially pray these days for Pope Francis as he is in the Philippines in his apostolic trip to Sri Lanka and the Philippines. Viva el Papa Francisco! We keep him in our praise in a special way today. Pope Francis tells us very simply and very beautiful that to be human means to care for one another. And he says that each of us has a duty to protect life courageously and lovingly in all its phases. This duty, my friends, to protect life begins with the life of the child in the womb. There is no one more innocent, no one more defenseless in our society than the unborn child. So we need to protect the unborn. That means ending legal abortion. But it also means reaching out in love to support the mother who carries the unborn child in her womb. We have to do it. The duty to protect life means that we need to stand with all those who are suffering and exploited and vulnerable in our society, especially those who are elderly and terminally ill. We need to protect them against the false compassion of euthanasia, which suggests that the sick will be better off dead than to be loved and cared for. What a tragedy, isn't it? So, my friends, today, on this stage, you are going to meet some amazing people and hear some powerful stories. Stories of hope and courage. The stories of love and self-sacrifice. I'm proud to stand with these heroic men and women. They are a witness to the culture of life, and they are an example to all of us. So, let us celebrate the beauty and dignity of every human life, from conception to natural death. Let us make OneLife LA the reality of every day in LA and in Southern California. Let us go out and tell our neighbors, our friends, the people we work with, that life is beautiful, that every life matters to God, that every human life matters to us. And here, in the city of the angels, let us ask the Queen of the Angels, Mary, the Mother of Jesus and our Mother, to help us all to stand up for the beauty and dignity of every human life, from conception to natural death. May God bless all of you and your families. Bless you all. Have fun.
And may God bless Archbishop José Gomez, right? Yes. All right, Carl Anderson is Supreme Knight, he corrected me, it's Supreme Knight of the Knights of Columbus. Under his guidance, the awesome Knights have donated more than 664 million hours of service. Wow. And $1.4 million in charity. Wow. They rock. Carl Anderson served as director of the White House Office of Public Liaison. He also served as a member of the U.S. Commission on Civil Rights. Ladies and gentlemen, and boys and girls, the Supreme Knight, Carl Anderson.
Sylvia, thank you very much. My brother Knights of Columbus and I are proud to be with you today, to be here for OneLife, celebrating with you the dignity of every human being at every stage of life. St. John Paul II taught us that only a civilization of love is worthy of human dignity, And so creating a civilization of love built on a culture of life must be our goal. We know that every human being should be loved, respected, and aided. This is true of the cold child in need of a warm winter coat, the hungry family in need of food, the poor child in need of education, and the child in the womb waiting to be born. Pope Francis said something very important in this regard. He said, "Things have a price and are sold, but people have dignity, worth more than things, and they don't have a price." Human life in its totality has become our priority, particularly the most defenseless, the disabled, the sick, the unborn child, the growing child, the elderly. Each one of us is invited to recognize in the fragile human being the face of our Lord. Toda vida es valioso, muy valioso. My friends, we know that we cannot abandon some and help only others. We must see the face of God in every human being. Whenever we celebrate the dignity of human life, I am reminded particularly of the intellectually disabled, who, whatever their disability, have an infinite capacity to love and to be loved. I am also reminded of those who have served them so well. Sergeant and Eunice Shriver, who founded Special Olympics, which will be here in the World Games in Los Angeles this summer. Jean Vanier, who founded the Ark, known in French as l'Arche, and Mother Teresa and St. John Paul II, who devoted so much to promoting the human dignity of every human life, especially the intellectually disabled. And I've been inspired and blessed to know each of them. I also remember in a special way my very good friend, Dr. Jerome Lejeune, who discovered trisomy 21, the condition that causes Down syndrome. He was a great scientist and a strong defender of the dignity of every human life. He was also a man willing to defend the right to life, even when he knew it could cost him the Nobel Prize for medicine. Dr. Lejeune had a special place in his heart for those with Down syndrome, supporting them directly and through his witness to the civilization of love. We are all called to be citizens of the civilization of love. We are called to be a people with a heart that sees where love is needed and who act accordingly. And this is what we always must remember about the intellectually disabled. Their hearts are not disabled. They see where love is needed, and they act accordingly. This is something the family you are about to meet knows very well. The Smiths have a wonderful story to share with us today here at OneLife. Rick Smith works as Director of Digital Ministries at Watermark Community Church in Texas. His work is impressive, but he's most known for being Noah's dad. 4 years ago, Rick and Abby Smith welcomed their first little boy, Noah, who was born with Down syndrome. To tell the world the joy he has come to know through Noah, Rick began a blog and social media outreach. And today he's here with us to share his family's story. Please join me in welcoming Rick and Abby Smith and their sons Noah and Jackson.
This is my wife Abby and Jackson, and this is our son Noah, our 4-year-old son Noah. And to sum up what Mr. Anderson said about me, I basically spend my entire day playing around on the internet. So for those of you who tweet and Instagram and pin and do all that stuff, be encouraged, because you may be able to make it into a career one day. But in all seriousness, I hope that what we do on the internet is much more than simply play around. What I want to do in just a few minutes that we have together with you is I want to share a little bit about our story, and then I want to give you some very tangible ways that you can make a difference for the cause of pro-life. So about 4 years ago, we were surprised to learn just a few hours after our son was born that he was diagnosed with Down syndrome. And I'll never forget that moment where our friend, who's a pediatrician, came and she told us that Noah was born with Down syndrome. The next day, our OBGYN came in. And I'll never forget her words. Her first words to us about Noah's birth was not congratulations, it was I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Our OBGYN, she might have been sorry, but we weren't. Because we knew that Psalm 139 tells us that God has created every single person on this planet, you, me, Noah, the millions of babies in the wombs, that God knitted those babies together with a purpose and a plan. And so tragically, we learned this. We learned that our OBGYN's response of being sorry, that was the response of the whole world. In fact, we learned that, depending on what study you read, that up to 92% of children like Noah are aborted. Okay, let that statistic sink into your brain for a second. Every time you see one Noah, there's 9 Noahs that you do not see today because they've been aborted. Okay, and so once you know something like that, once you have that kind of information, you have to do something about it. And so we decided to do something about it. We began to pray, and we began to say, God, would you use our little boy to do something great, far greater than we could even do? And so we didn't know how God would do that, but we just prayed. And we knew this. We knew that a lot of people that were making a choice to abort a child, that they were fearful. And fear makes people do some really, really bad things. And so we took our iPhones, and we began to record Noah's life 60 seconds a day, every single day, and we put that on a website called noahsdad.com. We also created a Facebook, a Twitter account, a Pinterest page, and everything else that goes with it, and we just began to tell his story. And so what happened was, I wish I could have time to tell you all of the amazing stories that have come out of this little boy's life, but his website now reaches millions of people across the planet for the purpose of life. And his website is helping people come out of fear and into light and have their babies. So I don't have time to tell you all of the awesome stories, but I do have time to tell you something. I want to tell you this. I want to tell you quickly a couple of things that you can do, that you personally can do to make a difference for the cause of life after today. Number one is this, to recognize that each of you have a story. The fact that you're here today on a Saturday means this, that you have a story to tell, that you're passionate in the fight for life just like we are. And so you've got to begin to tell your story. That's number two, tell your story. Stories only have power when they are told. So don't waste your story by not sharing it. I mean, you may go, hey, I don't know how to blog, or I get really nervous standing on a stage talking in front of a lot of people. Well, guess what? You don't have to do that. You don't have to do that. For you, you might write a book. You might take your next door neighbor to coffee. You might go work at a pregnancy crisis center. But you need to get out there and do something. You need to tell your story. You need to love on people. Stories have power. I want to tell you one quick one. There was a lady in our church who she recently found out that one of her children in the womb was going to be born with some complications. And so she contemplated abortion. She came to our church and she was honest and she goes, hey, I think we're going to abort this baby. And so we said, hey, can we connect you with some people that have stories? Can we connect you with some people that would love on you? And they said yes. And so we were one of those families. We had other families. You wouldn't even know their names, but they did this. They just began to take time loving on them, inviting them into their house and sharing a meal with them, telling their story. And guess what? In December, they sent me a picture. They went ahead and had their baby. And they're in love with their baby because of this. Not because they came to a march or a rally or they read our blog, but because someone took time to love on them and share their story. And so stories have power. And finally, let me give you one last thing. If you really want to end abortion, if you really want life to resonate on this planet, let me tell you the number one thing that you can do. The number one thing that you can do isn't come to a march. And it isn't read my blog. the number one thing that you can do if you really want to make an impact for the cause of life is pray that our country would turn its hearts back to God. We need to pray that our country would come to value life, and that they would come in a relationship with Christ, and that their life would be radically changed, and that they would value life. And so I want to encourage you that you have a story, tell your story, and pray as if life depends on it, because it does.
Beautiful story. And I understand that Noah and Jackson are baseball fans.
Yeah.
At least growing baseball fans. So I've asked a former St. Louis Cardinals pitcher who in 2004 led the Cards to the pennant in the World Series, Jeff Suppan, if he would make a presentation of some autographed balls and gloves and hats.
Oh, yeah.
Jeff?
Now, I know you guys are Dallas Rangers fans, but I got you some St. Louis Cardinal hats for all of you.
All right.
Where's the camera?
We're facing the camera. There you go.
And I have some autographed baseballs and some gloves for you guys. So,
All right.
yeah. Look fun.
Look at that. Oh, you got me? All right, hey, now I want to do one thing. The Archbishop, he took a picture earlier. Come over here. You took a selfie, and your selfie's going to be big, but I want to take the largest pro-life Ussie. Now, an Ussie is where we have a group of us together, okay? So we're going to get an Ussie. Come on. And we're going to have these people retweet it today, okay? So come on over here. Come on over here.
Pardon us for
We
just
gotta
a
get
minute.
in
In fact,
tight.
put your signs up.
Are y'all ready? 1, 2, 3. All right, you be sure to share that. Bye.
It looked good. I saw it. It looks really nice. So get that out there. Social media rocks when we're promoting life, right? Right. All right, thank you very much, Carl, Jeff, and the Smith family. What a beautiful family. Those boys are adorable, and starting with their daddy. David Bereit is the national director of the phenomenally successful 40 Days for Life movement. I bet many of you, if not all of you, have participated. 40 Days is a peaceful witness of prayer and fasting to end abortion. The movement is big. It has spread to 559 cities across 27 nations. Our ministry, AudioGirl Ministries, has been involved in 11 of these prayer events. We are going to pray the abortion mill clinic in Long Beach closed. That's our plan. 40 Days for Life is the single most active region. The single most active region, is right here in Southern California. That means two things. One, we're really good at praying to end abortion. Two, we have too many abortion mills in Southern California. We all need to pray each and every one of those closed. So, without further ado, 40 Days for Life, the national director, Mr. David Bereit. A warm SoCal welcome for him.
This is the day the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. Amen. We are here at OneLife LA, and what I want you to know is OneLife, your OneLife, can make a profound world-changing difference on the lives of those around you. I learned that personally through an hour of prayer. Myself and 3 other people were living in Texas in the small town of College Station, and for 1 hour we gathered around a wooden table to pray and call out to God and ask Him to show us how we could be used to help save lives from abortion right in our town. And that 1 hour of prayer birthed 40 Days for Life. We felt led to do something through the 40-day time frame because of the spiritual significance of 40 days. And the 3 activities that we felt called to do through that hour of prayer. Number 1, prayer and fasting. Because with man ending abortion, it's impossible. But with God, all things are possible. Amen? The second thing that we felt led to do was a constant peaceful vigil for 40 days outside of our local abortion facility, bearing witness to the injustice of what was happening inside, but also offering hope and help to the mothers who were about to go in and make the worst decision of their lives. And the third and final thing, community outreach, spreading the word to people we knew about the dignity of human life. From that 1 hour of prayer, that launched 40 Days for Life in that town. 1,000 people participated, and that year abortions in that community went down by 28%. God answers prayer. But much to our surprise, it began to spread city to city, then through nationally coordinated and internationally coordinated campaigns. And to date, 40 Days for Life has now had 3,336 independent campaigns in 559 cities, all 50 American states and 27 nations. 650,000 people have prayed and fasted and stood in vigil at 40 Days for Life campaigns. If you've ever prayed, fasted, or been a part of a 40 Days for Life campaign, can I hear you say a big yes? Thanks to you, 40 Days for Life has now seen, by the grace of God, 9,699 babies that we know of whose lives have been saved from abortion. Thanks to you and your prayers, by the grace of God, we've now seen 107 abortion workers have a change of heart and leave the abortion industry for good. And thanks to your prayers and your efforts, just this past week, the 60th abortion facility closed its doors for good following a 40 Days for Life campaign. But all of these are just numbers, and we're here at OneLife, and we have to realize what that one life really looks like. And I got to find that out right here in Los Angeles, just east of here in La Puente. A few years ago, I got a call that the La Puente abortion facility, after 5 40 Days for Life campaigns outside its doors, led by an amazing woman, Yvonne Viramontes, who's here with us today, after those 5 campaigns, that abortion center closed. And my co-partner in 40 Days, Sean Carney, and I flew out for the event to celebrate God answering those prayers. And when we got there, we met a 19-year-old teenage mother. Her name was Laura, and she told us how months earlier she had been pregnant and scared. She had been literally heading into an abortion center to have an abortion. She drove by the people praying outside, got to the parking lot, was moved to tears, and was moved to choose life for her baby she gave birth to. And she named her baby Leah. And that day, outside that closed abortion facility, I got to meet that one life that was saved because of the prayers of faithful people. And today, you're going to have that blessing as well, because Leah, who is now 4 years old, and her mother are here with us at OneLife. If they'll come on over here. Laura and Leah. And I don't know if you can see Leah's t-shirt, but it says, "Your prayers saved me." And that is the message that we need to remember. So when you get discouraged in your pro-life work and you wonder, is this really making a difference? Remember this one life of Laura, somebody who was spared from a lifetime of regrets. And remember this one life of Leah, a beautiful child whose prayers saved her. Your one life truly can make a life-changing impact for many lives around you. One last thing before I introduce your next speakers, I want to let you know, right after OneLife, right over at the center next to the cathedral, you're invited to a training session called Save More Lives. It begins at 3:30. It's absolutely free for 90 minutes, and you can learn from Heartbeat International, Options United, Students for Life in 40 Days, what you can do in Southern California to save more beautiful lives like Leah's. I hope you can join us, and with that, let me introduce your next speaker. Thousands of kids are in the foster care system here in Los Angeles, and unless you met a child in the foster care system, you might never know that. And most of us may never recognize the challenges of growing up in foster care without having that permanent home and a permanent family. This next story you're about to hear is one of courage and one of personal growth, and about being somebody to somebody in a way that can change an entire life. Will you please join us in welcoming Brandi Moore and Tracie Shepard and the foster kids and mentors from Kids Save. Let's give them a big welcome. God bless you.
Hi. Someone once asked me how I hold my head up so high after all I've been through. I told them it's because I am a survivor, not a victim. Good afternoon. My name is Brandi Moore, and I'm here today to share my foster care testimony. Now, first, I would like to pose a question. What is survival? My definition of survival is to continue to push through life in spite of what you're going through. That no matter how big of an obstacle, you keep going. Instead, take that as an opportunity to grow, to achieve, to succeed,
I know you can because I did. And I did because I learned to value my life, and people around me who cared valued me. Growing up for me was not easy. I fought back tears every second, every minute, every day. My worst memory of my childhood is running towards the door, balling up in the corner, crying. I distinctly remember I was in a corner crying hysterically. I was unprepared for what awaited me. My mother was very abusive, verbally, mentally, and physically. I don't know why she was abusive. I thought maybe it's because my dad left her pregnant and alone. Therefore, she bruised me and hurt me. I thought that it was normal. I thought that all kids were abused. I thought it was out of love. By the age of 9.5, I was placed in the foster care system. I remember having a phone call with my mother that night, a monitored phone call. And she said, "Look what you did. If you weren't being so bad, this would not have happened." I moved to and from over 25 different foster homes and group homes for years, feeling guilty because I was in the situation I was in. Some of those placements still follow patterns of abusiveness. One of my foster parents forced me to bathe outside despite the fact she had adequate bathrooms inside of her home. For years to follow, I felt stressed, depressed, and ultimately lost. At 15, I turned to ditching school, hanging out with the wrong crowd, and I had already been to juvenile hall 4 times in 5 different high schools. I was beginning to feel like the system corrupted me. At 17 years old, my struggle with depression was apparent. My grades were dropping at school, and I was involved in plenty fights with other teenage girls. Some with friends, and they will often turn on me, and when that happened, I felt lonely and insecure. I thought no one cared. I felt worthless, and almost every day I would contemplate suicide. I would cry, and I would cry until my eyes were swollen. I made a commitment to take my own life. I even wrote a suicide note. I even had a plan. I felt like I didn't have anyone to talk to. I didn't want anyone to stop me either. March 17, 2010 changed my life. That day woke me up and made me realize that I'm on this earth for a reason. That day made me realize I have a purpose, and I just had to figure it out. I intended to take my life that day, but the universe had other plans for me. I often remember falling 30 feet to concrete, and I can't believe that I survived my suicide attempt. I fell 30 feet to concrete, and I survived my suicide attempt. While I was recovering in the hospital, I met a woman. She told me she was a person who found me, that she helped save my life. I will never forget that bright smile on her face as she handed me a stuffed animal, and she said, "You're a miracle." That was an unforgettable experience, and it took that moment for me to appreciate life more. No matter what you're going through, suicide is never the answer. It is just the permanent fix to a temporary situation. A woman that I once met told me, when you're going through something, just flip your situation like a light switch. Later on, my permanency worker introduced me to an organization called Kids Safe, an organization that helps foster kids get adopted. Even though I was a ward of the state and was told I was not adoptable, I never lost hope. I knew I would find a family or connect with a family. I went to several events. I even helped with some of the fundraising events, and it didn't take me very long to meet a family. I met so many wonderful people that shared their experiences and gave me hope. Funny story. I met Tracie at a Kids Safe event, and she heard me complaining about feeling so short around a crowd of people. So she took off her wedges and she let me wear them. Now, 4 years later, she's like the best mentor, the best friend, and the best role model. And I can't put into words how thankful I am. I have a lot of support and love from the people I met at Kids Safe. All I ever wanted was to be a part of a family. Now I'm a part of 3 families. I truly feel really blessed. I'm 22 years old now. Almost forgot my age. I'm 22 years old now. And even though I have a lot to work on, I have come a long way. I thought that I would not graduate high school, but I did. I thought that I would not have a prom, but I did. I even earned my certificate in skilled nursing. I have hopes and dreams, and I know I can make anything happen for myself. I'm a survivor because of all of these wonderful people around me. They make a difference in my life. All of us can make a difference in the lives of a child like me. I wrote a song that I would like to dedicate to Tracie, my Kids Safe family, and all of you. That I'm going to sing a cappella. Everybody needs love. Everyone needs someone to hold. When you came into my life, my body broke out of the cold. You took away my guilt. I grew to love myself again. You are my shining diamond. You are my best friend. You are my life, my joy. You are, it's magical. My heart, my soul, it's lovely and beautiful. I look into your eyes, I see nothing but the truth. You're my best friend till the end. You are my shining star, you are. When we're together, we're in this world alone. You hug me and I'm breathless. The love you give I cherish. Lay my head on your chest and I'll listen to your heart. I breathe, you breathe, we breathe the same. You never take our love away. You are my heart, my joy. You are, it's magical. My life, my soul, it's lovely and beautiful. I look into your eyes, I see nothing but the truth. You're my best friend till the end. You are my shining star, you are.
Thank you, Brandi, for that beautiful song and for sharing your personal story with everyone. I know that took a lot of courage. Kids Save is an organization that helps older foster youth find connections with people. Brandi has brought so many blessings to my life and to my family. She's shown us that anything is possible. She is a true shining star. I'd like to encourage you to share some of my joy and do something for the older foster youth in Los Angeles. The commitment is small, to mentor twice a month, but the rewards for the child and for the community are great. Now, Brandi and I have a challenge for you. Today, take the first step. Go over to the Kids Save booth and invite them to your church, your organization, your book club, whatever, and they'll come and share the needs of our foster youth in Los Angeles. You can't imagine what the difference a stable, loving person can make in the lives of these kids just by being a mentor. There's no financial requirement to help out a child, just a little time and lots of love. I hope you'll take this opportunity to be somebody to somebody. It'll transform your life, like Brandi did to mine. Thank you.
Kids Save rocks.
I'm coming, just a second. Hi. Oh, pardon me for being late. All right, so thank you, Tracie and Brandi. See what happens when you try to get a little snack in between acts? Don't do that when you're the MC. As I promised at the start of our program, I want to take just a moment and tell you about AudioGirl Ministries. In 2009, my sister Lori Ray Martin and I co-founded AudioGirl Ministries. We are a bold and active voice for the unborn. To date, our ministry has been instrumental, I ran over, in saving the lives of over 600 babies. And, thank you, and saving the lives of 600 men and women from being lives of regret. Our mission includes the power of prayer, action, education, and teamwork. With over 35 active team members, many of them here today, and hundreds of supporters. And we've just launched our new app. It's called The Power of Seven, 7 effective replies to 7 common pro-abortion arguments, to help pro-lifers, you, learn how to defend your position. The Power of 7 is free, which is always everyone's favorite word. Power of 7 is free and available on Google Play, and very, very soon it'll be out on iTunes. We're just down to the last 90% approval on that. So thanks for listening to me tell you about AudioGirl Ministries, and thank you for your support. Now, our next guest and I have something in common. We both fight for the rights of our most innocent brothers and sisters, those being formed in the secret places of their mother's womb. A couple of years ago, I was invited to an event for the Right to Life League of Southern California, another great organization. They're here today. That's where I met for the first time Eduardo Verastegui. Okay, so I had the same reaction, okay? I had the same reaction. Actually, when I first saw Eduardo, I thought to myself, who is that handsome pro-life man? And I followed him through the crowd at that event. Well, me and every other woman that was there. We were like, I just want to meet him and get my picture taken with him because we're both pro-life. And, you know, he leaves you speechless. So now I know Eduardo Verastegui. Did I say that right? Verastegui. Verastegui. I was lucky I could even attempt it after looking at him. He's a renowned actor, model, and a singer. He's enjoyed a very successful music career before going on to star in telenovelas. He's played leading roles in feature films including Bella, Chasing Pappy, and most recently, Little Boy. He's co-founder of Metanoia, a film production company. He's also founder of Manto de Guadalupe, a pregnancy clinic in Los Angeles. You know of it, of course. He's doing so much hard work, and he's here to tell you all about it. So let's give Eduardo a warm welcome today to OneLife LA. Eduardo. It's all yours.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you. I think my mother gave her a check or something because after all those kind words, you know. But anyway, thank you for your kind words. ¿Cómo están? Muy buenas tardes todos. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Eduardo Verastegui, and it's such an honor for me to be here. Thank you. Thank you, Archbishop Gomez, for inviting me to be here with all of you. Muchas gracias, Arzobispo José Gómez, por este liderazgo, por el liderazgo de la arquidiócesis, por hacer este gran evento Pro Vida aquí en Los Ángeles, California. Es para mí un gran honor porque la causa de defender la vida es muy cercana a mi corazón. Les voy a platicar dos historias para que entiendan de dónde nace este fervor y este deseo y este sueño de defender la vida en todo momento, desde la concepción hasta la muerte natural. Hace muchos años, armé una productora de cine con la misión de hacer películas que tuvieran el potencial no solamente de entretener, sino de hacer una diferencia en nuestra sociedad. Películas que toquen el corazón, películas que muevan, películas que hagan una diferencia positiva en la vida de la audiencia. Y el primer fruto de esta misión es una película que ha cambiado la vida de muchas personas, incluyendo la mía, Bella. Cuando yo me estaba preparando para el personaje de José en Bella, everybody speaks Spanish here? Okay, I'm going to do a little English, so just in case, okay? So what I was saying that a few years ago, my two business partners and myself, we decided to open a production company called Metanoia Films with the mission of making films that will have the potential not only to entertain, but to make a difference in people's lives. And the first fruit of this vision, of this mission, is a little movie that has changed the lives of so many people, including my own life, called Bella. So few weeks before I moved to New York City to start shooting that movie, my business partner, the director of the movie, calls me and he tells me, "Are you rehearsing?" And I said, "Yes, but I need to rehearse with the actress. We haven't found the actress yet." And I was very nervous because I wanted to rehearse with the actress so we can, be prepared the day of, when we start shooting the film in New York. So a friend of mine tells me, "Why don't you go to this medical center, this place, where young girls, Latina young girls that are pregnant, they go there to terminate their pregnancy. And because your movie is about this young girl who is pregnant and she sees her only exit, she thinks, is to terminate their pregnancy. And your character is going to convince her not to do that, but offer her to adopt her baby. And my character in that movie saves her baby, right? So my friend tells me, "Why don't you go to this place to meet a young girl who is going through the same struggles that the character in your movie is going to?" And I thought, this is going to be something very simple. I'm going to go there, stop the first lady and say, "Hi, my name is Eduardo. I'm a filmmaker. I'm doing this movie. How you feel? Hold on a second. Let me write it down. Okay. I wanted to do my research. I wanted to do my homework as an actor. When I got there, I was very nervous. I was very angry because I saw young girls going in to terminate their pregnancy. And all of them were Latina young girls, 16, 17, 18. And I forgot about my movie for a second. And I saw that, and I wanted to stop the whole thing, but I couldn't. Next thing you know, this young girl from Mexico, she recognized me because in Mexico I did a lot of soap operas, and they repeat them here through Univision forever, And somebody stopped me in the street the other day and said, "Are you that guy from that soap opera?" And I said, "Yes." And he said, "You look a lot younger on TV, sir." I said, "Well, of course, I did that 10 years ago. But anyway, 15 years ago, I was a lot younger." Anyway, the fact that she recognized me helped me to talk to her for like 5 minutes. And I said, "You know what? We met for a reason. I'm from Mexico. You're from Mexico. Can I talk to you for 5 minutes?" And she said, "Can I take a picture with you?" I said, "Sure." "Can I have an autograph?" "Sure. But just give me 5 minutes." "Okay, that's the condition." Great. We ended up talking for like an hour. She told me her life. I told her my life. We talk about food, Mexico, our faith, music, her dreams, everything. We cry. I gave her like a little teddy bear. And then she lost her appointment because of my fault, right? Thanks be to God. So the next day, I call her. I called her the next day and I said, you're not alone. We're brothers now. We're sisters. You know, we're family. Anything I can do to help you. And finally, a few days later, we found the actress in New York. I moved to New York. I finished the movie Bella. And meeting her helped me in my character. It helped me in the movie to understand that the only exit is love. Love heals everything. Sacrificial, unconditional love. So anyway, when I moved back to Los Angeles, I received a call from her husband, and he started screaming on the phone, and I thought, he's just yelling at me, Eduardo, Eduardo, and I thought he was really mad. But no, he was crying. Eduardo, I want you to meet my baby. He was born yesterday. Can you come to the hospital because we are going to call him Eduardo, and I want you to meet him. I put my phone down. I couldn't speak. I never thought in a million years that by me going there to do my homework as an actor, I was going to be used by the grace of God as an instrument to save the life of Eduardito. Because when I went to the hospital and I was carrying that little baby in my arms, you know, he changed my life. He changed my life. I started singing songs to him, and that's when I looked up and I said, I want to be used as an instrument, and I want to fly around the world, and I want to talk to young people, and I want to invite people to not to be afraid to use their talents to save life at every moment. You know, especially the unborn babies. So then, that was the first story of this movie, because my dream with this movie was, hopefully, one day when the movie comes out, hopefully, one young lady that is pregnant will see my movie, and maybe she will change her mind. And maybe 15 years later, somebody knocked at my door and said, are you Eduardo, the guy who produced Bella? And I said, yes. Okay, sir, I have a story. That was in my mind, right, in my imagination. Many years ago, my mother was going through something. She was pregnant. I don't want to, you know, give you details, but because of your movie, I'm here, so thank you for saving my life. And I was dreaming about that. I never thought in a million years before the movie was finished, I was already carrying a beautiful baby named Eduardito. So that is what changed my life. The second story, before I finished, I went to Miami to show the movie to a few friends. And one of them calls me and tells me, Eduardo, my best friend, which you know him, his girlfriend is from Mexico, and she's pregnant. And he already told her that I'm not ready to be a father. You need to terminate her pregnancy, otherwise you have to leave. And she's crying, and that's not fair because she wants to have her baby, but her boyfriend told her, if you love me, you need to get rid of that baby. And I don't know what to do to stop that. And I said, and when is the appointment? And he said, tomorrow, 8 o'clock in the morning. Nobody can stop this guy. Can you please call him? Because after seeing your movie Bella, José, the character that you play, inspired me to call you. Call him. So I haven't seen this guy for 5-6 years. So I called the guy and say, hey, my friend, how are you? How is the weather in Miami? How is everything? Great. It was 1 o'clock in the morning, a few hours before the appointment, and he's thinking like, Eduardo is calling me 6 years later to ask me the weather in Miami at 1 o'clock, but I was nervous. I don't know what to say. Then I said, okay, to the point. This guy called me and he told me about your situation. And you know what? I know that you are going through very hard times. And I'm not here to judge you. At the end of the day, you can do whatever you want, but listen to me for 1 second. If you don't want your baby, give it to me. I'm willing to adopt it. And he is silent. He is not saying anything for like seconds, for like a minute. And I'm thinking in silence, inside of me, I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I'm a father now. And, I said to him, he said, what are you saying that? He said, brother, life is not an accident. Life is sacred. It's a gift from God. Man, you're a father. Now, I'm going to send you a video, and please watch the video and call me back. So I sent him this video. He calls me back. He canceled the appointment. I go to Miami, show him and his girlfriend the movie Bella. A few months later, the baby's born, and they call her Bella, little beautiful girl. And I'm not the father because they changed their mind, but I am the godfather of little Bella, which is like 7 years old now, beautiful little angel. And those two stories are the two pillars that inspire me to open a medical center called Guadalupe a few blocks away from here. And Guadalupe Medical Center offers free medical assistance with the best technology, ultrasounds, doctors, nurses, everything to young women that they don't have the means to carry their pregnancy. And Manto de Guadalupe not only is there to save their lives of their babies, but even their mothers to help them with whatever their needs are. For more information, you can go to mantodeguadalupe.com, mantodeguadalupe.com, and hopefully one day you can come and visit us and help us as a volunteer to keep saving more babies. And to finish, I'm sorry? Thank you so much for doing what she said, that she helps young women to visit our clinic, and our clinic so far since we opened has saved more than 1,300 babies by the grace of God. By the grace of God. And Bella, this little movie, till today, the best part of Bella is all the emails and all the letters that I receive every day from young women telling us how when they were pregnant and scheduled to have an abortion, after seeing the movie, they changed their mind and kept their babies. More than 2,000 babies that we know. Of course, you know what? Only God knows how many more, but if it would be only one anyway, it's all worth it because life is sacred and we need to protect life all the time. And we are here to celebrate life. And I have just a little commercial to share with you before I leave. As I said before, I'm a filmmaker, and I want to use my talents that God gave me to glorify Him through art, because I believe that art has the power to heal and to change people's lives in a positive way. Our next movie is called Little Boy. And Little Boy is coming out in April 24th. And this movie is about this little kid that is 7 years old, but he looks like 4. He's very short. Very, very short. And he has no friends. Everyone takes advantage of him, and they call him midget, and they kick him, and they slap him, and they make his life miserable. But he's fine. Why? Porque se refugia en el amor de su papá, quien es su mejor amigo, su único amigo. Él y su papá son uno solo. Estamos hablando en los años 40, Segunda Guerra Mundial. Esta familia tiene una tradición que en tiempos de guerra un miembro de la familia tiene que ir a defender la libertad y su país. Así es que el peor día de Little Boy es cuando el autobús militar llega al pueblito a llevarse a todos los soldados, incluyendo a su papá. Su corazón se rompe en 1000 pedazos. Y en ese momento empieza la película. Lo que Little Boy tiene que hacer para lograr lo imposible, terminar la Segunda Guerra Mundial para regresar a su papá a casa vivo, a su mejor amigo. Es una película que habla de defender la vida. Él se da cuenta que para que todos los papás regresen a casa, la guerra tiene que terminar. Y toda la aventura de la película es la aventura del niño tratando de terminar la guerra. ¿Y cómo lo consigue? Cuando un sacerdote le dice, para que tu fe crezca, tienes que hacer esta lista. La lista es las obras corporales de la misericordia. Darle de comer al que no tiene, darle casa al que no tiene, visitar al enfermo, visitar a los presos, enterrar a los muertos, etc. Y al final le da un último consejo el sacerdote al niño y le dice, si quieres ser perfecto tienes que amar a tus enemigos. Hay una persona en el pueblo que es el enemigo del pueblo, lo que ellos creen que es el enemigo del pueblo. Y el niño trata de ganarse la amistad de él para poder lograr esta lista que el padre le da y de esa manera poder lograr este milagro. Así es que, ¿ustedes creen que un niño de 7 años puede terminar la Segunda Guerra Mundial? Vean Little Boy el 24 de abril y los dejo con este trailer, disfrútenlo y si les gusta, por favor, compártanlo con todas sus redes sociales. helplittleboy.com, helplittleboy.com is our website. You can see the trailer there as well, and if you like it, just share with all your friends. God bless you, pray for me, I pray for you, y que viva la vida. Gracias.
Hey, where's your cane, Tiny Tim?
Yeah, it's really too soon to make any diagnosis. Let's just say you're a little boy.
My story takes place on the home front. That's my dad. I wanted to be just like him. Everything we did became a great adventure.
Do you believe we can do this?
Yes, I believe we can do this.
Partner, do you believe you can do this?
I believe I can do this.
Pepper, Flint, Busby, it's time to go to bed.
All was good in the old Busby home, or so I thought.
You're going to war.
Yes.
I don't want you to go. Why can't we stay together?
The moment of truth. I am searching for the chosen one.
Me!
You. The movement of an object to inner power. Do you believe you can do this?
Yes, I believe I can move it!
You wanted the bottle to move so much. It moved. Your faith is powerful.
But if I get enough faith, nothing's impossible, right?
Even bringing my dad home?
Your faith won't work if you have even the slightest bit of doubt.
What if I can bring Dad back?
How? How are you gonna bring Dad back?
I can move a mountain.
You wanna move a mountain? There's one. Go ahead, move it.
Was that an earthquake?
It's a miracle.
It's up to you to achieve the impossible. It takes courage to believe. Your father would be more than proud of you.
All right, don't forget, Little Boy opens nationwide in theaters April 24th. Let's support that film. It takes pro-lifers, Catholics, Christians out there supporting the good works and the good films that our Christian filmmakers are doing. We need to send Hollywood a message that we will go to the movies if they make the right movies. All right, so support Little Boy, April 24th. You've heard, I'm sure, that there are, unfortunately, approximately 225 abortions every day in Southern California, a horrific, horrific number. It's the single most destructive act against human life that the world has ever seen. You know the numbers. We're up to 57 million in America alone. When we talk about numbers like that, the situation really can be overwhelming, and we can feel defeated. What can one person do in the face of such injustice? Well, our next story reminds us that abortion's not just an issue, it's not a political football, it's personal. Everyday women struggle with a pregnancy decision, a crisis pregnancy, we call it, right here in our own neighborhoods, sometimes in our own families. To make the courageous choice for life in the face of adversity or obstacles or pressure to abort, pressure from people that supposedly love that woman. Well, they need to be supported and loved and shown their own dignity first. So I know it's hot, I know you're getting tired, but stay with us. This next speaker has a story to tell that will keep you encouraged and pumped up. So please join me in welcoming Jessica, who's going to share her own personal testimony of choosing life over abortion. Jessica.
Hello. Look at this crowd. I was sitting back there and I saw the line go, the march, and it was just never ending. I was just staring at it like, is this line gonna ever end? You guys are awesome. 6 years ago, I would have never imagined I'd be standing here sharing my story. 6 years ago, I was a newlywed. My husband was an active duty Marine. I was in school, and I loved my job, and I found myself devastated because I just found out that I was pregnant for the first time. My husband was thrilled, but I was really struggling with the news. Having an abortion was something that I thought I would have never even considered for my life. I was a Christian. I considered myself pro-life. I wrote pro-life papers in college. But when I was faced with this unplanned pregnancy, I felt that it came at the wrong time. I wanted to finish school. I wanted to have a career. I had big dreams of starting my own business and making an impact in the world, really making a difference. And I was embarrassed. My pride was hurt. I was wondering what my family and my friends would think of me for not finishing school, for having an unplanned pregnancy, and I became so concerned about what everybody else was thinking that I put my husband's wants and the life of my own child at the bottom of my list. I was seeking abortion as my way out of this unplanned situation. I felt that it was my only option. I went into Planned Parenthood for my appointment. I remember sitting there with my husband, and he was so upset. He had tears in his eyes. This was a Marine with tears in his eyes. He was angry and confused. He didn't understand what I was thinking, what I was doing. He was against the abortion, but he told me that he loved me and that he would stand by my side no matter what I chose to do, and I will never forget that. I went into the back to be prepped for my abortion, and they told me that I would have to come back the following Saturday because I drank too much water the night before the procedure. I was thirsty. They rescheduled me for Valentine's Day of 2009. We left feeling emotionally drained, but also thanking God because I knew that this was something that I did not want to do, but I was fighting it. I really wanted to see an ultrasound, so I went home and I Googled the nearest place in my area, the nearest health clinic that offered free ultrasounds, and up came Birth Choice Health Clinics of Mission Viejo. I went into there on a Wednesday, and the ladies there asked what my intentions were with the pregnancy, and I told them abortion, and they said, okay. And they showed me my ultrasound. I got to see the heart, the 4 chambers. I got to listen to the rhythm of the heartbeat. He was only 7 weeks old, but he was so strong and so alive in my womb, and it hit home for me. I realized that I was living in this alternate reality, this made-up world for myself of all the great things I was going to do and all the great things that I was going to accomplish, and those things may or may not have even panned out for me. But this was reality. This pregnant was reality. This baby that I was seeing on the screen was reality. And I went home, and I shared everything with my husband. We knew that we were scheduled for the abortion in just a few days on Valentine's Day. However, we rejoiced when our son was born the following September of 2009, healthy. Two days after our son was born, we had just left the hospital. We got home, we were getting settled in, and my husband received a phone call at 4 o'clock in the morning. They said, pack your bags, go to base, you're deploying. It was completely unexpected. He left, and I got up, and I got myself ready. I got our baby ready, and I drove down to base to meet him there and to say goodbye, not knowing where he was going, not knowing when he would return home. I drove home in tears. I was sobbing, and I remember walking upstairs. We lived on the 3rd floor of this tiny, like 400 square foot studio apartment, and I walked up 3 flights of stairs with my 2-day-old baby in the car seat and 2 days postpartum, and I took a deep breath, and I said out loud to myself, Jessica, you need to be strong. You need to be strong for your husband. You need to be strong for your son. My husband was gone for 7 months, and it wasn't easy. There was a lot of times where I couldn't even communicate with him. But it was the most beautiful, the most defining moments of my life. Those were the moments where I learned about sacrifice, I learned about love, and I learned about motherhood. While my husband was out serving our nation, I was learning what it meant to serve our family right at home. I found a great support of women at the YMCA, at local parks, and even online. I found a best friend, a woman who became a sister to me. And together we've shared in a journey of motherhood. We've shared the joys and the pains of raising children, and it has been an incredible experience. My husband and I now have 3 sons. A 5-year-old, a 3-year-old, and a 1-year-old. Each one is so different, so beautiful. How could we ever live without them? To love and nurture and teach and watch our children grow is an incredible gift given to us. Our family has been able to donate several gift bags filled with baby products back to Birth Choice, our way of giving back. And we give them to the mothers who are there facing the same things that I was once facing. And it's been awesome to hear the stories and the testimonies that have come out of those donations. I remember one story in particular. This woman was pregnant, and she didn't have any family, and she didn't know where the father was, and she was homeless. And our bag was given to her, and it meant everything to her, and it was all the possessions that she owned was in that bag and on her back. It has been amazing to see the goodness of it all. 6 years ago, I could have chose a different path. My life would have looked very different. I would have never experienced the tiny kicks of growing feet in my womb, the coos and cries of a newborn babe, all the milestones that we've celebrated, and I would have never heard the voice of my oldest son saying sweet, sweet things like, "Mommy, Mommy, do you hear that? Bump, bump. Mommy, that's my heart. You make my heart so happy, Mommy." Our world would have been left untouched by the handprints and the smiles of each of our children, the sounds of their laughter, and the lives that they have already impacted at such a young age. Each one of us is a precious treasure. We're all given gifts and abilities and talents. We all have purpose. We are all created for a reason, and we are all called to make a difference. You might ask yourself how, what can I do? What do I have? It was Mother Teresa that tells us, if you want to make a difference in the world, go home and love your families. I'll close with this. Whoever pursues righteousness and love finds life, prosperity, and honor. That's Proverbs 21:21. Thank you. God bless you guys. God bless Los Angeles.
Thank you, Jessica, for sharing your story. You know, it's not easy for women who've been there and then chosen life to come forward. It takes a brave and courageous woman to do that. So thank you so much, Jessica. Hey, I know you're getting tired. I know it's hot. Is it hot out there? Oh, I know. But Josh Garrels is going to be performing live for you in just a little bit. So hang tight. We've got plenty of great speakers still to go, including Patricia Heaton, who has just showed up. Yes, a very strong advocate for life, and we got her here today. Once again, my name is Sylvia Aimerito with AudioGirl Ministries. Great to have you here. And if anyone knows the value of OneLife, it's Mother Agnes Mary Donovan, a clinical psychologist and Ivy League professor. We're talking not a slouch here. Mother Agnes became the first superior general of the Sisters of Life when they were founded in 1991. The Sisters of Life promote the sacredness of every human life, which is what we're doing today. So of course we're going to invite her. Mother Agnes and the Sisters of Life actually have traveled all the way from the frozen tundra of New York to be here with us. Yep. So please give a warm, so use all that heat you're feeling right now, a warm Southern California welcome to Mother Agnes.
Thank you. Yes. Well, hello to OneLife LA. We are so happy to be with you today to come together to celebrate the irreplaceable value of one life, of every human person. For more than 2 centuries, we as an American people have struggled to understand and to live fully the truth and the blessing of the sacredness of every human life. The history of our nation and the history of salvation are both stories of deliverance of men and women from bondage, from every form of human slavery and from the slavery to sin. The dignity of the human person demands the freedom for self-determination. In our nation, we have declared that no person may become the pawn, the possession, or the property of another. The reality of human trafficking in our land makes a mockery of our nation's noble ideal of freedom and seriously offends the dignity of the human persons caught up in this evil. I am proud, so proud to introduce to you today a witness to freedom, a woman of courage, a woman sustained by a strong sense of her own great dignity, a woman who successfully made the exodus from the bondage of her trafficker, and a woman who now fearlessly advocates to protect and help survivors of human trafficking. Please welcome Angela Guanzon.
Thank you, sister. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Angela. I'm from the Philippines, and I'm a survivor of human trafficking. I came to the United States with a lawful visa and a promise to have a good job. I was offered a job by an employer whom I thought that I could trust. When I get to the United States, my passport was taken away from me by the person who offered me a job. And she told me, and she even hugged me and told me that we're gonna be like a family. I will help her with her business, and she will take care of me. She told me that I owed her $12,000 for the transportation and visa, and I have to work for her for 10 years to pay it off. I work in an elderly care in a retirement home in Long Beach. My co-worker and I work 18 hours a day, 7 days a week. We sleep on the floors in the hallways. We eat table scraps. She told us that if we try to escape, we will be deported by calling the police and telling them that we stole something from her, and we will be in jail. We work long hours, so our neighbor always sees us walking in front of the yard. The neighbor that we have, he always makes sure that he talks to us. And he even asks us every time if we're okay, you know, how are we doing? He takes time to talk to us. But my trafficker told us that we cannot trust other people, especially white people. So I'm scared to tell him the truth, you know, about the situation. But luckily, I was rescued by the FBI through the neighbor that noticed that always talked to us. My trafficker pleaded guilty, and she was sentenced for 5 years. And now I'm a survivor. And a member of Survivor Advisory Caucus and a National Survivor Network. We're a group of survivors learning leadership and advocacy skills to raise awareness and influence policies to help better and protect the survivor of human trafficking. As a member of Caucus and the National Survivor Network, I met a lot of survivors who were victimized by all circumstances in all forms. Together, we traveled to Sacramento to advocate pass the bills. Like last year, we had the SB 477, is the Foreign Labor Recruitment Bill, a bill that I helped to develop so that what happened to me would not happen to anybody else. I also speak nationally to a group of caring people like all of you that are here, letting you know that you can all make all difference in preventing the modern-day slavery. As a member of the Caucus and the National Survivor Network, I met a lot of survivors who were rescued by the neighbor like I was. I'm just letting you know that we have to be observant. The people that we meet every day, that we see every day, we have to take time to talk to them in anywhere, in the nail salon, massage parlor, in a restaurant, or even in the hospital. Be observant. If you think there's something going on, call the hotline. They will investigate, and who knows? At least you try, and maybe you help at least one life. I'm so thankful that you guys are here. I hope you learn from today. You spread the words that modern-day slavery is still happening. It still exists here in our backyard. And we can all be a part of the solution to eliminate it. So I hope you guys, you spread the words, and thank you for coming.
Thank you so much, Angela. It's great to learn. When we started our program today, remember we said every life is different. We're all diverse, but we all have a common cause today, a common commitment to life. And you've heard so many different stories, and there are a few more to come to support our belief in the dignity and beauty of every human life. Hey, don't forget Wait a minute. Josh Garrels is going to be here today. In fact, he's got a great concert ready to go for you, so stick around for that. And if you upload pictures and videos, you are doing that, right? We are the social media generation. Don't forget to tag us with hashtag OneLifeLA, hashtag OneLifeLA, Twitter and Instagram for that. And then we're also at OneLifeLA on Twitter and Instagram. And Facebook, of course, is OneLifeLA. You got it. I know you're tiring, but don't. Find that energy within you, that commitment to life, and bring it back, because we've got some great entertainment for you coming with Josh. Now, our next guest is one of the most prominent international TV stars. 3 times she's been chosen as one of People in Español's 50 most beautiful people. 3 times. And her beauty is much more than skin deep. I just got a chance to meet her. She's adorable. She co-starred in the epic movie For Greater Glory and is a diligent pro-life advocate working with the Guadalupe Medical Center in Los Angeles. And she has significantly helped so many young women choose life for their unborn children. Please join me in welcoming Karyme Lozano. Karyme.
Thank you so much. ¿Cómo le están pasando? A ver, más fuerte. ¡Arriba los latinos! Eso, me da muchísimo gusto ver a tanta gente y tantas familias reunidos aquí para apoyar este maravilloso evento. Good afternoon. I'm very honored to be here today, and I'm so happy to see so many people and so many families gathered supporting this amazing event. I became a pro-life advocate when I realized the importance of respecting life from conception to natural death through a very deep and touching experience. This experience was when my father was sick with cancer, just before his passing, when the doctor suggested to euthanize him. I totally rejected this suggestion because I knew God had a reason for keeping my father alive despite his suffering. I remember calling my mother and asking her to come say goodbye to my father. My brothers and I had already said our goodbyes, and I told him how much we loved him. I realized my mother was the key for my father not wanting to let go, because despite the fact that they were divorced, they had been married for 25 years and only divorced for 23. So my mom came to see him, went in his room, and came out. 15 minutes later, my father passed away. I asked my mom what she told my father, and she said, "I told your dad to forgive me and that I forgave him too. That he shouldn't be scared and God was waiting for him." I realized at that moment that every second of our lives is important, even when we don't understand things, and that God's timing is perfect. If we had euthanized my father, my parents would not have had the chance to forgive each other. A tremendous gift God gave them. Ahora, para los que hablan español, les voy a contar un poquito del por qué yo me volví una fiel abogada de defender la vida. Y eso es porque les voy a contar rápido, porque viene una historia maravillosa. Viene una chica que admiro muchísimo a presentar su historia. Lo que sucedió es que mi papi estuvo enfermo con cáncer y ya estaba en sus últimos días. Y el doctor sugirió que le pusiéramos una inyección, la famosa eutanasia. Entonces yo decía, pero por supuesto que no, mi papá tiene que morir dignamente y se lo va a llevar Dios cuando Él quiera, porque los tiempos de Dios son perfectos. Y Él sabe por qué no se ha llevado a mi papá. Entonces yo dije, ¿qué falta? Si ya nos despedimos mis hermanos, yo, falta mi mamá. Mis padres estuvieron casados 25 años y divorciados 23. Le hablo a mi mamá y le digo, oye, mami, vente a despedir de mi papá. Viene mi mamá, entra al cuarto, sale del cuarto y a los 15 minutos fallece mi papá. Le digo, oye, mami, ¿qué le dijiste a mi papá? Le dije que lo perdonaba y que me perdonara por todo y que Dios lo estaba esperando. Ahí me di cuenta que si nosotros le hubiéramos aplicado la famosa eutanasia, hubiéramos interrumpido el destino que tenía Dios para ellos, ese regalo del perdón. Dios me permitió ver ese fruto de que cada segundo de nuestras vidas es importante y tiene una razón de ser. A veces no comprendemos porque hay mucho dolor, pero Dios es sabio y sus tiempos son perfectos. Amén. Gloria a Dios. Ahora les voy a presentar a una niña que me mueve el corazón, que yo sé que les va a mover a ustedes también. Our next speaker, whom I'm extremely honored to introduce, is a courageous 12-year-old girl who understands the beautiful gift of life and has exemplified it in her decision to fight for her own life. Fatima was diagnosed with an incurable cranial tumor at 3 years of age. Yet, she is determined to live her life to the fullest. She and her mother possess a faith and belief that life is a precious gift from God, a gift that has helped them overcome the odds of a terminal diagnosis. She's not giving up hope, and despite extreme pain, she has refused treatment that would take her life because of her faith in God's plan for her. She joins us today to share her story and a message about the beauty of life. Ahora voy a presentarles a una niña ejemplar a la cual admiro por su valentía, su sabiduría. Los niños son sabios. Se llama Fátima, tiene 12 años, viene con su mamá Dolores, a la cual también mis respetos por esta enseñanza a su hija, de respetar la vida y de entender que los caminos de Dios son perfectos. Denle un fuerte, fuerte, fuerte aplauso a Fátima y a su mamá Dolores. Please welcome Fatima and her mother Dolores with a warm welcoming, please. Que se escuche, a ver. Eso, que se escuchen los latinos, eso. Gracias.
Hi, my name is Fatima. I'm 12 years old, and when I was diagnosed with a tumor called chondroma, I came to the United States because they didn't have the right medication and the right treatment in Mexico. I have to have surgery almost every year, sometimes twice a year. Each time they scrape the tumor, it regrows back again to the size it was before. The doctors told me that there was no hope for me and that they couldn't do anything else, that all that was left for me is to wait. When I heard this news, I was devastated because all out of sudden my life could come to an end. But that made me realize that I have to take advantage of each moment of my life because every day God gives me, I have to enjoy. And each day I wake up, I thank God for giving me another day to enjoy life and see God's creations. I'm thankful to Children's Hospital Los Angeles for the care and for the love they give me. They treat me very well. I love being there because they make me feel at home. Every moment that passes in my life, I don't think I'm going to die. I just want to live my life and be happy that I'm alive. I enjoy everything, like going to school, going to the doctors, being at home with my mom, and going to church. I don't feel sad because I feel that I'm special in God's eye. I feel that I came to earth for a reason. I want to tell people that they're not alone. They have God and other people to help them, just like me. I have faith in God that everything will be okay. When I grow up, I want to be a doctor, a veterinarian, an astronaut, a religious, and a chef. I also want to join the army. I have a lot to look forward to, so I'm determined to live. I love my family, and I will always have them in my heart every day of my life. We can't all be together because my treatments are here, but I look forward to the day when I can reunite again with them. I am thankful to God for giving me life for as long as I may live.
Buenas tardes, mi nombre es Dolores García. Mi hija Fátima, les voy a contar en español brevemente su historia. Fátima es una niña maravillosa de 12 años, mi hija. Ella ha pasado por muchas adversidades en el transcurso de su vida. Ha superado poco a poco y ha enfrentado su enfermedad. Fátima padece síndrome epidermal, nevus verrugoso en la parte izquierda de su cara y un condroma en su cráneo a base de mandíbula. Ella ha tenido múltiples cirugías, en total 23. También ha tenido una embolización de la arteria carótida por aneurisma. El año pasado presentó problemas por falta de respiración. Comiendo o tomando líquidos, ella se ahogaba. Le realizaron varios estudios y la refirieron a terapia ocupacional. Hoy en la actualidad acude a terapia psicológica y está estable. El diagnóstico de los médicos que atienden a Fátima dicen que para ella no hay medicamento o tratamiento para curar su enfermedad. Lo único es hacer cirugías cada vez que el tumor crece, con el riesgo de que en algún momento se vuelva maligno. Ella no fue apta para la radiación y la quimioterapia. Creen que en algún momento el tumor la pueda dejar ciega, entrar al cerebro o asfixiarla. Solo recomiendan que le demos calidad de vida. Ella tiene muchos sueños por delante. Quiere ser doctora, veterinaria, astronauta, chef y religiosa, y servir en los servicios militares de Estados Unidos. Cada día despierta, dando gracias a Dios por otro día más de vida, aprovechando el tiempo. Le gustan los animales, la naturaleza, el deporte, la música y leer. Y no le gusta faltar a la escuela. A veces tiene dolor y aún así va a la escuela. Tomé la decisión de traerla a los Estados Unidos porque en México no contaban con los instrumentos más avanzados de los que cuentan aquí en Estados Unidos para realizar la cirugía y poder controlar los fuertes dolores de cabeza. La atención y el cuidado que le brindan los doctores y enfermeras en el hospital hacen que ella se sienta mejor mientras ella se encuentra en el hospital. He visto la diferencia y la prueba es que Fátima, gracias a Dios, está viva. Sé que nos duele mucho estar separados como familia, mi esposo y hijos, pero nos damos cuenta y sabemos y queremos ayudar a Fátima a estar y sentirse mejor. También sé que Fátima sufre por no tener el cariño de su papá y hermanos, pero con la esperanza de que algún día estaremos juntos. Por lo mientras seguiremos luchando por Fati hasta que Dios lo permita, porque la vida de todo ser humano es el don y el milagro más maravilloso que Dios nos ha dado a todos los seres humanos en esta vida. Gracias.
Oigan, antes de que se vayan, Fátima, bueno, yo quiero decirte que tú eres un instrumento de Dios, eres un ejemplo para nosotros de lucha, eres una luchadora, y voy a cantar una canción a continuación que habla de cosas muy simples, pero esas cosas simples que son tan importantes, que son de agradecimiento a la vida. Te dedico esta canción que se llama Gracias a la Vida, y sigue luchando, eres un ejemplo para nosotros siempre. Que Dios te bendiga.
Gracias a la vida que me ha dado tanto, me dio dos luceros que cuando los abro perfecto distingo lo negro del blanco, y en el alto cielo su fondo estrellado, y en las
Gracias a la vida que me ha dado tanto, me ha dado el sonido y el abecedario con las palabras que pienso y declaro. Madre, amigo, hermano y luz alumbrando la ruta del alma del que estoy amando. Gracias a la vida que me ha dado tanto, me ha dado la marcha de mis pies cansados, con ellos anduve ciudades y charcos, playas y desiertos, montañas y lagos, y la casa tuya, tu calle y tu patio. Gracias a la vida que me ha dado tanto, me dio el corazón que agita su marco cuando miro el fruto del cerebro humano, cuando miro el bueno tan lejos del malo, cuando miro el fondo de sus ojos claros. Gracias a la vida que me ha dado tanto, me ha dado la risa y me ha dado el llanto. Así yo distingo dicha de quebranto, los dos materiales que forman mi canto y el canto de ustedes, que es el mismo canto, y el canto de todos, que es mi propio canto. Gracias a la vida que me ha dado tanto, me dio dos luceros que cuando los abro perfecto distingo lo negro del blanco, y en el alto cielo su fondo estrellado, y en las multitudes el hombre que yo amo. Gracias a la vida que me ha dado tanto, gracias a la vida que me ha dado tanto. Gracias.
Wow. Miriam Solis, thank you so much for that beautiful, beautiful tribute. And thank you, Fatima and Dolores, for sharing your story with us. Really an inspiration. But I know, oh my gosh, before you go, where are they? Come on up, you guys. Fati, I know that's your nickname and I like it. It's very good. We know you love music, and we know you've been saving for an iPod. Is that what it is, an iPod? Okay. We also know, it's kind of hard to save money when you've got medical needs and, life's experience. It's tough, isn't it? We all know that. And allowances, they don't come as easily anymore. So here's the thing. Our partners at C3, Catholic Communication Collaboration, have something for you. They've given us a gift, and Miriam has it for you. It's a brand new iPhone, not an iPod. We got you an iPhone, okay? It's a phone, girl, with a year of free long distance. So not only can you listen to your favorite music like you want, but you can call your dad and your family back home in Mexico on us, okay? All right. Okay. All right, sweetie. And it's right there in that backpack for you. Fight on, little one. Fight on. Big round of applause. That's one tough little lady. And thanks again, C3, Catholic Communication Collaboration. Very cool of you. Hey, don't forget, when you put us out there on social media, hashtag OneLifeLA, or handle it Twitter and Instagram at OneLifeLA, Facebook, OneLifeLA. Get those pictures up there. We're going to do this again next year, so we might as well start promoting it now, right? Well, gracias a la vida. We have one life. It's our message, and we are so thankful for it. We're really thankful, too, for our next guest. You already know her, and believe me when I say you know her well. Actress Patricia Heaton starred in the long-running series Everybody Loves Raymond. Still catch it on reruns. It's a good laugh, and she was hilarious. She's won more awards than I can count, including 2 Emmys, well-deserved, we might add. She currently stars as Frankie Heck in the ABC sitcom, another hilarious TV show called The Middle. Yeah, right, way to shout it out. Her brilliant career includes starring roles in film, TV, and on stage. She received her star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame in 2012. She is, and has been, a very outspoken advocate for life. Everybody loves Raymond, yes, but everybody loves Patricia! Patricia Heaton!
Yay! Hey, welcome. Oh, it's so great to be here. You guys are terrific. Thank you so much for giving me the honor of addressing you today. This is such an encouragement to see so many of you out here fighting for human rights, for justice, and for the dignity of all people, no matter where they're from, how old they are, where they live. We need to support them and each other. I ran across a website called the Radiance Foundation. It was started by Ryan and Bethany Bomberger. And I was very intrigued by his message, by their message, by the wonderful videos they've produced, the posters they've produced, his speeches. He's very intelligent, has all the facts down, very compassionate, very smart, and has an incredible story of his own to tell. His biological mother was raped, and yet she had the courage to give him life. He was one of 10 children, many with disabilities, who were adopted and loved in a multiracial Christian family of 15. Today, as an adoptee and an adoptive father, he enjoys illuminating the intrinsic worth with which we are all created. He and Bethany founded the Radiance Foundation to extensively research and creatively present, and they do it very well, social issues in the context of God-given purpose. Ryan is not afraid to speak about inconvenient truths about civil rights, race, abortion, adoption, family, feminism, poverty, fatherlessness, or the impact of creative design on the culture. He's spoken to thousands and thousands of people, and very importantly, to many students on college campuses who don't understand the meaning of what we're fighting for. The Radiance Foundation's efforts are based on these values. We are all created with a purpose. We are all designed to live a life with meaning. We can rise above any circumstance. We're responsible for our choices. We are community-minded. Our life purpose involves compassion and action by serving those in need. We acknowledge the richness of cultural diversity while emphasizing the unity of our commonalities. We believe that love requires us to speak and live the truth without fear so that others can experience freedom. We believe family is the foundation of every society. It's God's, of every society. Although humanity falls short of God's design in every area, we should always strive for the divine ideal. I've been wanting to meet Ryan for a long time. I emailed him when I saw his website and said, if you're ever in LA, please let me know. 2 days ago, he said, I'm coming to LA. And I said, well, there's something I could check off my bucket list. I finally get to meet you. Please welcome Ryan Bomberger.
How you feel, LA? Woo! It feels good. Patricia, thank you so much for being bold in an industry that too often celebrates the violence of choice. It's not exactly popular in Hollywood to say that you're pro-life. And so I just want to commend her for her boldness. I want to thank yes, give her a round of applause, because it is not easy. It doesn't matter whether you're a Hollywood actor or actress. If you're just everyday folk like me, like you, sometimes it's very hard to stand up for what you believe in. Do you believe that? Do you agree with that? It's true. I want to thank the Archbishop Gomez. I want to thank the Archdiocese of LA and all those who brought this first ever large-scale pro-life event here to LA, sunny LA. So thank you. And I love talking about the beauty of possibility. Now, we've heard stories throughout today of people who are in situations where, you think about, if I were ever in that, I don't know how, I couldn't do that. It's amazing. When God places you in a situation, you become stronger than you ever thought you could possibly be. And some of these stories, I hope they've stirred your heart, have they stirred your mind, because it's such a beautiful reflection of how we are always stronger than our perceived or actual circumstances. Amen? And if any of you don't believe that, we're going to have to speak a little more life and courage into you. But we live in a culture that values what is foolishly thought of as perfection. But life is never, ever picture perfect. And that is what makes life so beautiful. Watch this video right here. It's called Never Picture Perfect. For you in the front, I'll act it out on stage.
Life is never picture perfect. Human beings come in all different shapes, sizes, colors, and abilities. No matter how much we plan, no matter how much we think we're prepared, the unplanned happens all the time. It's how we respond to the unexpected that shows our true humanity. But many do not see the value of every human life. Too many are willing to discard those who don't fit the picture of perfection. Abortion destroys the chance to love and to be loved. We never know what will fill the frames of our lives, or how empty those frames can be when we allow exceptions.
Every life is a gift.
Who believes every life is a gift? My family is full of exceptions. I'm from a small little family. I'm actually an exception. I am an exception. I'm the 1% that is used all the time to justify 100% of abortions. My biological mother, even though she experienced the horror and the violence of rape, still proved that she was stronger than her circumstances. And not only did she give me the gift of life, she gave me the gift of adoption. And on the screen there, you might see my family, my little tiny family of 15. 6 brothers, 6 sisters. Grew up in a home with 1.5 bathrooms. Just, Lord. And my sisters took both bathrooms. But anyway, it's amazing how you adjust to the situation and the circumstances. But my parents loved the mess out of all of us. They loved their homemade ones. They had 3 homemade first, and then they imported the rest of us. 10 of us are adopted. We're white, we're black, we're white and black, Native American, Vietnamese, mixed. We're just, like it is here, family. They didn't know what they were getting into. I was the first one adopted. And apparently it went well. They adopted 9 more. But it's amazing what happens when you love. Love unleashes so much. And I grew up in an experience where adoption unleashed incredible purpose in our lives. My birth mom proved that she was much stronger than her circumstances. She had no idea. And many of us don't have a clue when we make a decision, when we make a singular decision, we're often not thinking tomorrow, the next day, 5 years from now. She had no idea the decision that she would make would reverberate for years and years to come. And because she chose life for me and my parents loved the mess out of me, I was nurtured, I was educated. I ended up getting my master's degree. I started my own businesses, creative director, have won Emmy awards for my design. And that's not to say that, oh, look what I've done. It's to say, look what God can do. Because any situation, God has an amazing way of making triumph rise from tragedy. Can I get an amen? Now, we all have sung this song many times when we were kids, probably thousands and thousands of times. It goes like this. Cristo ama a los niños. Or some of you may know as, Jesus loves the little children, all the planned children of the world. Remember that? Red, brown, yellow, black, and white. Some are precious in his sight. You don't remember that version? No. Psalm 139, my favorite chapter in the verse. If you haven't read that chapter yet, read it, people. Psalm 139 goes on to say that you form my innermost being. You knit me together in my mother's womb. There is no asterisk that says, oh, because I was planned or unplanned. I love how God says in Psalm 139, I was fearfully and wonderfully made. Oh, my word. It's amazing. Anybody here fearfully and wonderfully made? If you're not sure, ask the person next to you. But we live in a culture that is deceived into thinking that we can define the value of human life. All we have to do is look at history and see what happens when man or woman or governmental institution decide who has value and who doesn't. It's not exactly a good turnout. Holocaust, slavery, abortion in America that has killed 56 million, more than 56 million, since Roe v. Wade in 1973. We're not really good at deciding who has worth and who doesn't, which is why we should never make that determination. It's already been determined at the throne of heaven. It's amazing to me how we just, as human beings, we have a hard time learning these lessons. Now here, when I talk about adoption unleashing purpose, and I talk about how love unleashes these things, it really is amazing. Planned Parenthood pretends to be the savior of the poor, the savior of women. Now, Planned Parenthood is the leading destroyer of human lives, unborn human lives, not to mention the mothers and the fathers' lives that they destroy. Every single year, they abort over 330,000. Yet they put themselves out as if they're the savior of the community. They're the savior of the black community. They're the savior of the Hispanic community. They're the savior of women. We already have a savior, and he came to give life, not to take it away. So here we have Planned Parenthood, the abortion chain, the largest abortion chain in America. And what they don't understand, what they do not grasp. But I know that everybody has the potential to have their heart totally turned, to have a 180 in their lives. So don't give up praying for those who are in the abortion industry. But Planned Parenthood today doesn't believe that every single life has worth. They believe if you're unplanned or unintended, that equals unwanted and it equals unloved. And let me tell you, not just as an adoptee, but as an adoptive father of 4 children, 2 of which are adopted, there is no such thing as an unwanted child. There are many who will say in this world, oh, well, abortion is necessary because there's overpopulation. There's 7 billion people on this planet. Okay, all 7 billion people can fit on the land area in Alaska. I'm not sure if Alaskans really want us all there, but we could all fit on the land area in Alaska. There is not an overpopulation problem. There is a perception problem. The way we perceive humanity. I want you, for those of you who are in the back, I want you to watch this video and just understand why the Radiance Foundation is so passionate about talking about beautiful possibility.
That's the beauty of human life, so irreplaceable. I can't imagine life without you, it's just unthinkable. There's no one like you, no one like you. You're 1 in 7 billion. There's no one like you, no one like you. You're 1 in 7 billion. There's no one like you, no one like you, no.
Wow. There is no one like you. Say it with me. Say, there's no one like me. There's no one like me. Say it with me. No hay nadie como yo. Do you believe it? Never underestimate the power of God's beautiful possibility. It can change anything. And let me tell you, just from my life experience, it changes everything. God bless you, LA. God bless you, OneLife, LA. Thank you.
Wow, what a story, huh? Oh, I brought a special guest out with me right now. We've been talking a lot. We're buds now, I tell you. This is one special man, not to mention the Archbishop of the Archdiocese of Los Angeles. But when you get down to it, he is really, really in love with the people of Los Angeles. So love him back. A big round of applause for our very own Archbishop.
Thank you, Sylvia.
What a life we have, huh?
Yes.
OneLife, LA.
OneLife, LA.
It's a dream that has come true thanks to you, Archbishop Gomez.
Thank you.
On behalf of OneLife LA, thanks to all of the people who spoke today, all the artists who have sung for us, all the talented guests, all the people that have come to share their stories and tell us and inspire us how much they care about life and knowing now how much we care about life. Before we continue with our scheduled program here in Los Angeles, today's event has been broadcast live via EWTN and EWTN Espanol. And Archbishop Gomez wants to talk to you.
Thank you all for coming, and especially thank you to EWTN and EWTN Espanol. We want to say thank you to you and to all our viewing audience for joining us today around the world. We hope you will spread the message of one life in your community so we can truly build a culture of life where every life matters. Thank you all for coming. Gracias a todos.
Thank you. Now a big round of applause for EWTN. God bless you around the world. Woo! See. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we had a great program today, but it's not over. His songs have been performed on American Idol. World Relief, an organization that's here today, an organization dedicated to bringing peace and restoration to the Democratic Republic of the Congo. Are we almost plugged in? Did I stretch it long enough? Almost. Well, while Josh is plugging in, before we get to Josh then, these folks in San Diego came up. They canceled their 3rd annual San Diego Walk for Life to be here today. So thank you, San Diego. You guys are awesome. Josh, tuning up. Me, 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 me. I shouldn't do that. He's got an electronic tuner. I don't think I can mess him up. You, me, 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 me. All right, I got the thumbs up. All right, warm round of applause for Josh Garrels and his band. Josh.
Let us just deal with this feedback real fast. Let us break bread together on our knees. Let us break bread together on our knees. When I fall on my knees with my face to the rising sun, oh Lord, have mercy on me. Let us drink wine together on our knees. Let us drink wine together on our knees. When I fall on my knees with my face to the rising sun, oh Lord, have mercy on me. Let us praise God together on our knees. Let us praise God together on our knees. When I fall on my knees with my face to the rising sun, oh Lord, have mercy on me. Oh Lord, have mercy on me. Thanks, guys. It's so good to be here. Celebrating life with all of you. Thank you guys for coming out on a beautiful sunny day and letting your foreheads get burnt with us. If I get a little more vocal in my monitor, did you let them know that? All right, let's do it. It's called Farther Along. Farther along, know all about it. Farther along, understand why. So cheer up, my brothers, live in the sunshine. We'll understand this all by and by. Tempted and dry. I wonder why the good man dies, bad man thrive, and Jesus cries 'cause he loves them both. We're all castaways in need of rope, hanging on by the last threads of our hope, in a house, a mirror full of smoke, confusing illusions I've seen. But where did I go wrong? I sang along to every chorus of the song that the devil wrote like a piper at the gate, leading my men down to their fate. Some will courageously escape the seductive voice with the heart of faith while walking the line back home. There's so much more to life than we've been told. It's full of beauty that will unfold and shine like you struck gold, my wayward son. Dead weight, burden weighs a ton. Go down into the river, let it run. Wash away all the things you've done. Forgiveness, alright. Farther along, know all about it. Farther along, understand why. So cheer up, my brothers, live in the sunshine. We'll understand this all by and by. Oh yeah. La la la, la la. Still I get hard pressed on every side, between the rock and the compromise, like truth in a pack of lies fighting for my soul. I got no place left to go, 'cause I got changed by what I've been shown. It's more glory than the world has known. It keeps me rambling on and skipping like a calf loosed from his stall. I'm free to love once and for all, and even when I fall, I get back up for the joy that overflowed my cup. Heaven filled me with more than enough, broke down my levees and my floods, let the flood wash me. One day when the sky rolls back on us, some rejoice and the others fuss, because every knee must bow and tongue confess the Son of God, He's forever blessed. His is the kingdom and we're the guests, so put your voice up to the test. Sing, Lord, come soon. Ah, yeah. Farther along, know all about it. Farther Thanks, guys. This one's called Over Oceans. Searching for you on the waves. Oh. And oceans to you. All my time comes to you. How long has it been? Flying will we be the same as we were once before? Remember like children the stories of old. Your hand was in mine by the firelight when we danced. pay their song. And I pay their too.
If I get a little more guitar in my monitor, I need a little more guitar in the monitor. I need a little more AC. Yeah. How we're doing?
Oh, this song's called White Owl. It's sort of a poetic call for all of us to go into the places that seem a little too dark and scary to go, but where there's those who need help. So this is it's for all of us. And you don't know which way to go. Through the shadowlands and forgotten paths, you will find a road. Like an owl, you must fly in moonlight within open eye and use your instinct as your guide to navigate the way that lays before you. 'Cause you were born to take the greatest flight. Like a serpent and a dove, you will have wisdom born of love and carry visions from above into the places no man dares to follow. Every hollow in the dark of night, waiting for the light. Take the flames tonight. 'Cause child, the time has come for you to go. You will never be alone. Every dream that you have been shown will be like a living stone. Building shelter from the storm. Like a messenger of peace, the beauty waits to be released upon the sacred path we keep, leading deeper into the unveiling. As you're sailing across the great divide, like a wolf at midnight hours. You use your voice in darkest hours to break the silence and the power, holding back the others from their glory. Every story will be written soon. The blood is on the moon. Morning will come soon. 'Cause child, the time has come for you to go. You will never be alone. Every dream that you have been shown will be like a living stone. Building you into your home. Shelter from the storm.
Turned into a hot day. Man, oh man. These guys came from Indiana for the event. It's negative 11 degrees there right now. I'm down from Portland, Oregon, and the sun feels good to me too. This is called Beyond the Blue. Stand on the shores of a sad unseen. The substance of it dwells in me, 'cause my natural eyes only go skin deep, but the eyes of my heart anchor the sea. Plumbing the depths to the place in between the tangible world and the land of the dream, because everything here ain't quite what it seems. There's more beneath the appearance of things. Beggars could be kings within the shadows of a way. Yeah, wisdom will honor everyone who will learn to listen, to love, and to pray, and discern, and to do the right thing even when it burns, and to live in the light through each treacherous turn. Man is weak, but the spirit yearns to keep to the course from the bow to the stern, and to throw overboard every selfish concern that tries to work for what can't be earned. Sometimes the only way to return is to go where the winds will take you, and to let go of all you cannot hold on to, for the hope beyond the blue. I'll sing a yellow and gold as a new day dawn, like a virgin unveiled who waited so long to dance and rejoice and to sing her song and to rest in the arms of a love so strong. No one comes unless they're drawn by the voice of desire that leads them along to the redemption of what went wrong. By the blood that covered the innocent one. No more separation between us. So lift your voice just one more time. If there's any hope, maybe a sign that everything was made to shine despite what you can see. So take this bread and drink this wine and hide your spirit in the vine, where all things work by good design for those who will believe and let go of all we cannot hold on to for the hope beyond the blue. See, I let go of all I could not hold on to for the hope I had in you. Singing my Lord. As we celebrate, human life and existence, we all know that each of us are frail in our own way, and we make poor decisions that affect others, and I think part of the celebration of a time like this and a community like this is like embracing one another in reality, which also means, in our faults and in our imperfections and even in our bad decisions, the times we perpetrate against one another, and then finding forgiveness out the other end, working through that in some sense of redemption. This song is called Slip Away, and it's me putting myself in the place of the one who knows what it feels like to commit a wrong against someone else and wondering, can it be too late? But the fact is, it's never too late. This is called Slip Away. Hold on before I slip away. The flames gone dark, I've gone astray, and how strong is flesh and blood. I cannot take back what I've done to you. My sweetest friend, I betrayed you. I walked away again. Now all that's left is what might have been. Please forgive me before we reach the end.
Thanks, guys. We just got a couple more for you, and then we'll let you go home and put aloe on your foreheads. This one always feels like it should be the logical follow-up to that last one, that no matter how far it's gone, if there's breath in our lungs, we always have the ability and the power of decision to turn, to make a change. No matter how shipwrecked it seems like it's gotten, I think this life is one long return home. So this is called Ulysses, and it's about returning back to the one true love. So. I'm holding on to the hope that one day this could be made right. 'Cause I've been shipwrecked and left for dead, and I've seen the darkest sides. Everyone I've loved seems like a stranger in the night. But oh, my
heart still burns. It tells me to return and search the fading lights. I'm sailing on to you. I won't be long by the light and moon. Now we press on until I find my love. Trouble has beset my ways, and wicked winds have blown. Sirens call my name. They say they'll ease my pain, then break me on the stones. But true love is the burden that will carry me back home. Carry me with the memories of the beauty I have known. I'm sailing on to you. I won't be long by the light and moon. Now we press on. So tie me to the mast of this old ship and point me home. Before I lose the one I love, before my chance is gone, I wanna hold her in my arms. This one's called Zion and Babylon. And I said, oh great mama, in the form and function, careless consumerist consumption, the dangerous dysfunction, disguised as expensive taste. Cause I'm a people disgraced by what I claim I need and what I wanna waste. I'll take, I know I'll count for nothing if it ain't mine. Cause it's a misappropriation of funds. Protect my 90% with my gun. Said, whose side am I on? Well, who's winning? My kingdom's built with the blood of slaves, orphans, widows, and homeless graves. I sold their souls just to build my private mansion. Some people say that my time is coming, the kingdom come is the justice running down, down, down on me. Cause I'm a poor child, I'm a son. I refuse to give my love to anyone. Fight for the truth, oh help the weaker ones. Because I love my Babylon. I am a slave, I was never free. I betrayed you for blood money. And oh, I bought the world, all is vanity now. And oh my Lord, I'm your enemy. Come on. Come to me and find your life. Children sing Zion's inside. And I said, don't trade your name for serial number. Priceless lives were bought from under praise where I found you. I said, my name ain't yours, yours is not mine. Mine is the Lord and yours is my child. It's how it's always been. Now it's time to make a change. Leave your home, give to the poor all that you own. Lose your life so that you could find it. First to be last when the true will come. Live it like a humble fool to overcome this upside down wisdom of a dying world. I said Zion's not built with hands, and in this place gotta dwell with man. Sick be healed, in the cripple stand, sing ha ha hallelujah. My kingdom's built with the blood of my son. Selfless sacrifice for everyone. Faith, hope, love, and harmony. I sing, let this world know me by your love, by your love. Oh, my child, my daughters and my sons, I made you in love to overcome. Burn my flowers in the sun. On your way to Mount Zion. All you slaves, be set free. Come on out, my child, and come on home to me. And we will dance, we will rejoice. If you can hear me, then follow my voice. Thanks so much, guys. Let's hear it again for OneLife and the whole event, man. It's been really special. I've got one more for you. And I grew up in Indiana as well, listening to Wu-Tang Clan in parking lots, skateboarding. Sorry. So this is the one song I do with nothing but a mic. This is called The Resistance. This will be it. Have a wonderful night, you guys. was born into a system constructed for failure. It's a sinking ship being manned by drunken sailors. An escape artist behind the bars of a jailer. The asthmatic attack and they withhold the inhaler. The shoe doesn't fit, what good is a tailor? In the midst of this crisis, please cancel the gala. Without a symphony, there's no need for a prelude to foreshadow what's to come. See, the secret committees commence with their meetings to make red tape in response to simple questions. Questions threaten the perception of a beneficial system. Pyramid scheme with its cogs and its pistons. Mechanization of man, making more and more live in a miserable existence. How can so few claim so many victims in this? Begs the question. My arrest is a weapon against the oppression of man's obsession to control things. Look at the long line of make-believe kings, and the Lord of the Flies wants you to kiss his ring. Follow new rules with invisible strings and become a puppet in a diabolical scheme. How do good men become a part of the regime? They don't believe in resistance. Hold fast, my people, and sing through peace and through suffering. All for the joy that it brings to be free. It's gonna cost us everything to follow one Lord and King. True love endures everything to be free. We'll be free. Ah, yeah. Ah, yeah. Lesson number one, overcome every fear of regret and confusion. It's all an illusion, delusion, sent to disconnect the holy fusion of the spirit in the flesh. Every mortal breath's meant to breathe forth fire, but only when the fear of death gets consumed by the funeral pyre. So let the flames rise higher, and let every man be considered a liar if he doubts the goodness and faithfulness of God. Itching ears will compulsively nod in approval. Unbelief is taught in all our relics and schools, but God can restrain the madness of a fool. He can bring his truth through the mouth of a mule, and you can move a mountain without any tools. It just takes the faith of a little seed to make a way through what might seem to be a possibility. And the ability will match the occasion. The outcome will defy explanation. The liberation will not be televised when it arrives like lightning in the sky. Hold fast like an anchor in the storm. For your love, we will rise and overcome. Hold fast, my people, and sing through peace and through suffering. All for the joy that it brings to be free. It's gonna cost us everything to follow one Lord and King. True love endures everything to be free. Thanks so much, everyone. Have a wonderful night. Go with God. God bless y'all.